Welcome to CHMA.
Yeah, broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, Canada. You're listening either on 106.9 FM in the Tantramart area or at www.chmafm.com.
Which is on the internet.
Yeah, this is Ground Control at YMC Midgic Airport. You are joining myself, Air Traffic Controller Thomas.
Oh, and me, Air Traffic Controller Luke.
Join us for the next hour as we watch guys listen to some tunes, chat, and we'll be done by and by Luke.
Yep.
Weather discussion.
Oh, well.
We just had a bunch of weathering.
We had some weathering go through.
And
more weathering is coming.
More weathering's coming. So the weather that came through, we had a little rain.
Yeah. Some thunder.
Some thunder.
Some lightning rods.
Yeah, and
or lightning bolts.
As I sit right now, it is Thursday evening. We are pre-recorded live.
Ah, you finally got on board with my term.
Finally got it. Didn't have to think about it.
Amazing.
And we have a thunder warning right now.
Do we?
We do.
For here?
For here.
Oh, well, I might be walking home from the old airport gig in the thunderstorm.
Yeah, in the thunderstorm, that's right.
I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I'm quite short. Trees are taller.
That's true, and lightning hits
tall things. Yeah, people don't get on about how fortunate us vertically challenged people are because
less likely to get struck by lightning.
Like in a crowd, definitely.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you want to listen to a tune?
Sure.
What do we got going this week?
I put a friggin' Old Man Ludica song on there because I was bummed because I was going to go to the show here in town a couple weeks ago, and I left something else early, and I was like, I'm going to go see a live music. I haven't seen a live music in a minute. I want to see a live music.
Yeah.
And then I was probably half hour out of town or something, and it came to my attention that the show was canceled.
Yeah,
he was unwell, and I was like, "Oh, that's like a bummer."
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I think it would have been a good show.
Would have been a great show, and I do believe Old Man Ludica plans on coming back to Sackville.
It's not that far from here to Chester.
No, not at all. So rescheduling that show. Are we going to play Easy Money by Old Man Ludica?
Yep.
Here's Easy Money by Old Man Ludica.
Why do you have to go away?
Oh, sweetheart, I gotta make the money. I'm sure that I could spend my days watching my children play and getting them to school each day. I never stop dreaming about easy money. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. Oh, yes, I need it. Oh, yes, I want it. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. I took the family to the beach. You need way more than just a week. Flying north to the grinding bleak. I never stop dreaming about easy money. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. Oh, yes, I need it. Oh, yes, I want it. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. If they paid us for who we are, I wouldn't have to go so far. I'd even clean my neighbor's yard. I never stop dreaming about easy money. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. I dream about easy. I dream about easy money. Oh, yes, I need it. Oh, yes, I want it. I I dream about easy. I dream about easy money.
I'd like to be able to do the rec things I like once in a while, and if I choose to, buy protein that's not on sale.
Yeah, that's about it. Like, you know, a lot of us, and I hope you haven't been in this situation, but I have, where it's like, oh, I either pay rent, buy groceries, or get medication.
Yeah.
And like, I've been in that situation frequently, even as an adult, as recently as now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
so
it's not good.
No, dream of easy money, man. That, like, I'm sure that's like a red flag for some people hearing that and be like, shouldn't be dreaming of easy money. You should be hustling. You should be out working for that money. I'm like, nah, man. I'm here dreaming of easy money. Like,
enough money to live easy.
Yeah. I'm willing to work for it. Like, yeah, Ludic said, like, you want me to, I'll go happily mow everyone's lawn in the entire neighborhood if I'm making enough to, you know, subsist.
Yeah.
That's all we want, man. Do you what else? Do what we want here?
Sports news?
Sports news, that's exactly what we're looking at. Hey.
Nailed it.
You did. Sports happened. The sports are done.
The sports are over by this point. All of them?
I think, yeah. Well,
or just the.
I shouldn't say all of them. The big sports happened, and now
ring.
The Paralympic sports are now happening.
Oh, yeah.
So there is sports still happening. So
the Olympics are still on.
No, the Paralympics are on.
Why are those two separate things?
Now, it's funny that you bring this up. I think the head of both the Olympic Committee and the Paralympic Committee have both mentioned this before, and I actually kind of like it. It's like, you know, it's separate because what these people do is, if not equally amazing, even more amazing, and it deserves its own spotlight. And I'm like,
okay,
yeah, I freaking agree that the people overcoming these adversities do deserve their own spotlight. But 6 new sports at the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics.
They're bringing back pigeon shooting, but it's just going to be on the streets of LA.
They're just killing.
It's like it's like a scavenger hunt.
Yes,
except it's pigeon hunt, and they give you that's LA, so like probably a Glock or a 9mm handgun of some sort, and they're like, you have 38 minutes. Go.
Now, do you have to shoot the gun sideways?
Oh no, that's a matter of stylistic preference.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
We are looking at the 6 new sports that are coming to the 2028 Olympics.
And by we are looking at you're going to describe them to me because I can't see your monitor.
That is correct.
And don't know what's coming.
You do not. Let's see if you can guess them. I'll try to give you some.
Give me a broad stroke.
Broad stroke. The first one is America's pastime.
Football?
No.
American football?
No.
Yeah,
baseball, my friend. America's
baseball?
pastime. Yeah.
Oh yeah, baseball isn't in the Olympics.
So, baseball has been on and off in the Summer Olympics.
That's like that's how I describe my relationship with the Olympics.
On and on.
Like as a kid, you get excited about it, and then some years you pick it up, and then other years it's like, you know, I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah. That's super fair. Yeah, this year both of us were kind of off year for us.
Yeah, I was out and about Sunday evening, and somewhere the TV was on, and they were like, "Hey, it's the closing ceremonies."
Yeah,
it's like, oh, this is the most I've watched.
Yeah, I watched the closing ceremonies. I did not like the wildly artistic telling of how like the medals became things.
I didn't watch that hard.
No, man, it was. I didn't love it.
It might have been 2 minutes worth, if I'm being honest. It probably was not entire 2 minutes worth.
But baseball comes up.
Okay, right.
Every few years, mostly based on infrastructure. So if the country holding it already has the infrastructure for baseball, they will have baseball. If it doesn't, they won't. So, you know. When they've had the Summer Olympics in Japan.
Baseball's in.
America, baseball's in.
Okay.
France, baseball's out.
All right.
The next one, I'm going to say, the next two actually are baseball adjacent sports.
Cricket.
Yes, cricket's one of them.
And, gosh, I really hope it's like soccer, baseball.
You know what? It's funny. My lovely, beautiful wife said soccer, baseball as well. I quizzed her on this as well. The other one is softball.
Softball. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Again, from an
infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. Tip of the lips, the teeth, and the tongue.
I was just about to say that too. This one should be easy for you. The national sport of Canada.
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse is in.
Huh. Are we going to do well?
I gotta hope so. It has to be us in America at the top. I don't know a lot about national lacrosse. I guess I'm going to have to learn, aren't I?
You fill me in some week in the future.
I will. This one is similar to tennis, but there's a big old wall.
Squash?
Squish, yep. Squash.
Mm-hmm. Not to be confused with like highlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Or racquetball.
They are all different.
Gosh.
And our last one, you were close when you said American football. I am just going to give it to you. This
Rugby?
Flag football. Rugby is already...
Rugby was there this year, though,
yes.
with the small rugby.
Sevens, yeah.
Yeah.
Rugby sevens. Flag football is going to be in next year. What do you think about that lineup of new sports?
They all seem fine.
They all seem fine.
Like, and I guess it's you probably want to pander a bit to the country you're in. So, like,
sure.
A couple of those are going to be...
Yeah, baseball makes sense for, America's traditional pastime.
Sure.
We're going to L.A. Yeah, baseball makes sense. Lacrosse, sure, that's,
okay,
an Americanized sport, even though it's Canadian. And flag football, certainly a very, very American sport.
I would say all those are just fine.
Yeah. So softball,
swell even,
was a core sport through Beijing, then removed, added for Tokyo, removed for Paris, and added back for LA and Brisbane. So softball, similar to baseball,
it's in and out.
Yeah, in and out when the infrastructure is there. Yeah, that's my sports. Hey, you got some sports news too, eh?
Yeah, it was. We discussed it briefly last weekend that the largest marathon boat race in North America was happening.
Yes.
And it did in Upper Michigan this past weekend.
In a hurricane?
No, in the winds from a hurricane having just passed. So
yes.
I showed you a couple pictures just before the show, and folks, like, the smallest class of boat that would do this is less than 2 meters. Like, we're talking like an 8-foot boat with a 15 horsepower motor, and typically these things would buzz right along at 70, 80 kilometers an hour. So, and due to the conditions, they were dropping like flies. The larger boats, just because they are larger boats with bigger motors, they're better for the most part.
Sure.
But they were coming out into lakes in like 3 or 4 foot waves. And when you're facing a 4-foot wave in an 8-foot boat, it's really, I wasn't there obviously, but I followed it pretty closely, including watching the start. I think both days. And it's like, man, just a wild ride for them this year. And despite that, actually, I think everyone I know that raced in it this year, which is, 4, 5, 6 people that I either know, at a conversational level or, friend of a friend.
Yeah.
All but one finished.
Nice.
Of those 6. The team I mentioned, 3CE out of Halifax, completed both days. Placed mid-pack. I want to say they were like 11, and their class started with around 20 boats.
That's great, yeah.
I think there were maybe 6 that did not complete in that 15 horsepower class. It's I think 108 boats started, and I didn't check the total attrition rate, but this year would have been
a little bit higher,
quite a bit higher. It's just no way around it. They're small, ultralight wooden boats, and they're made for smooth water. And this is one of the very few events in North America they don't call off for wind.
Yeah.
This event's been going on for, I forget what it is, like 76, 77 years or something, or maybe it's 80 something. Like it's a long-term thing, and they are, I can't imagine the logistics behind it. They have 2 sets of locks that they open for the 2 like as the first boat's coming, like locks used to control water level between 2 lakes. They leave them open for like an hour and a half so that the racers can go through. They shut down whole sections of rivers for them so that, because you don't want pleasure boat traffic.
No.
They have volunteers out in boats, every so many kilometers so that if something happens, there's someone there, that it's logistically, it's just
a nightmare, but it works.
And but they've been doing it for so long. They have such a strong core group of volunteers.
It's awesome.
I think in the few years I've been following it, this was the only year they came out and with like 2 nights ago, we're like, we actually need one more volunteer.
Yeah.
We need someone to go in a boat in this location. We'll provide the boat. We have someone to go with you. We'll train you.
Yeah.
We'll provide a couple hours of like, this is what you need to do beforehand. But it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just wild. So again, the club that I am affiliated with, the South Shore Outboard Racing Club, which is out of the New England states. I think they had something like 8 drivers in attendance, and I think 8 finished first day and 7 finished second.
Hey, that's great.
And it was mechanical failure, not like not arguably the driver may have been cutting it a bit close to the shore and hit a stump or something, but it was anyway, it's pretty cool for like it's a niche sport, but it's also a very small club. These people drove thousands of kilometers to get there. So it's cool to see that, like, hey, despite the fact this is a pretty small club, that based on the numbers they did very well.
Yeah.
Including our boys out of Halifax. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great job, boys.
Yup.
Oh, man, hey, you want to listen to a tune?
Yeah. I didn't even ask you to... Man, we were talking about easy money, so you didn't place the first one in the Venn diagram.
Oh, right.
I think it was a toe tapper, though.
Yeah, it was pretty toe tappy. It was pretty toe tappy. Next one, I think we're going for a vibe check. We'll see here in a second.
A vibe check or a vibe?
We're going to have to vibe check.
What are we listening to?
We're listening to Emile Bildeau, and the song is called Freddie Mercury.
Que le monde est monde, que les bien-pensants montrent du doigt les poils qui dépassent, tout ce qui pousse de travers, à croire qu'ils trouvent ça étrange, que la vie soit faite de plein de choses imparfaites. Je frise la crise quand j'entends toutes les bêtises que disent les mauvaises langues qui veulent pas entendre que la vie c'est aussi sexy que les dents d'en avant de Freddie Mercury sont pas toutes drettes, pis c'est correct parce que ça serait plate en maudit si on était tous pareils, si on croyait tous au même soleil. Je sais que la peur est comme un abcès dans le cœur des hommes qui devient si immense une fois nourri d'ignorance. Je pense qu'on devrait leur dire de pas trop s'en faire avec ce qui se passe à frontière. Les seuls qui nous envahissent sont ces sales gueules de racistes, les sexistes, les homophobes, toutes les autres microbes sur Terre qui enrobent notre univers. La vie c'est aussi sexy que les dents d'en avant de Freddie Mercury sont pas toutes drettes, puis c'est correct, parce que ça serait plate en maudit si on était tous pareils, si on croyait tous au même soleil. Hey. La vie c'est aussi sexy que la moustache à Freddy. On s'attache puis on se fait des amis, pendant que d'autres s'arrachent l'esprit à essayer de nous diviser. Mais tant que je pourrai respirer, je vais toujours essayer de les empêcher de la raser.
That was a song.
That was a. Are you sticking with your vibe classification?
I don't know. I wasn't very vibey.
No?
No.
Some songs are harder to drop into the Venn diagram than others.
We'll have to contemplate on this one.
Okay.
But that was Emile Bildo with Freddie Mercury. His stuff happens around here, eh?
News-like stuff?
Yeah, some news-like stuff. Like there's trivia at Bagtown. That's news.
Oh.
That's at 45 Main Street. It's a 250.
It's more of events than upcoming events than it is news.
Well, same thing. Here's some news about upcoming events. Hey, it's trivia at Bagtown Brewing Company. 45 Main Street. That's $2.50 donation at door with a drink. That comes to $10. Did you know that?
$10 for how many hours entertainment? 1, 2, 3?
Well, at least a few, because the trivia starts at 7 p.m. The kitchen's open at 5, so you can get there even before that.
All right.
Same night. Actually, no, the next night. Concerts in the park. That is Thursday, August 22nd. We got concerts in the park. They don't know who's going to do it yet.
This coming Thursday?
No, TBD, unless that's a band name. The Thomas Brown Dan. That's the name of the band.
Yeah, I like it. TBD is a good band name.
TBD is a good band name.
It's kind of the Guess Who vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Bill Johnstone Memorial Activity Center, Main Street, Sackville, New Brunswick. It is always free, starting at 6:30 to 8. That is every Thursday. Hey, after that, though, we do have next Sunday. So a week from today.
What's happening a week from today?
A community-engaged art workshop at the Sackville Commons. That is 18 Lawrence Street. That's going to be free. It's 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. How can art help us restore ourselves during the climate crisis? If you want to know more, check it out. Sackville Commons, 1 p.m. next Sunday.
All right.
Now we're going to talk about some news.
Okay.
What do you got for news?
What do I? Oh, man. The bridge is still closed.
The bridge is still closed. CBC.
I think we should have a bridge segment at this point. Because this is the year.
Came down recently and was like, hey, we're interviewing people. Does anyone want to talk about the bridge?
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk about the bridge to CBC?
No.
I didn't talk about the bridge to CBC either. We had a chance. We should have gone together.
To talk about the bridge at the bridge to CBC?
I think so. I honestly think that would have been real. It would have been great. What's the word?
You were going to be pro bridge and I was going to be counter bridge, con bridge,
yeah,
or vice versa.
Either way, I think it would have been a good way to get our name out there. You know, get our faces on television. That's what people want, right?
No, the very reason we went for radio was because our
faces
don't need to
television.
be subjected.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Do you think they would let us do it in puppet form?
Through like the little window on the bridge?
Yes. Oh, that's even better. I think we are on to something here. But yeah, we should do a bridge segment every single week.
Well,
what's the bridge saying?
Bridge news?
Yeah, what's the bridge saying?
Oh, it's just not fixed, and because our provincial I'm not sure. I would have to find out, which I could do with a phone call quite easily. So that is, I mean, it's a piece of public infrastructure, yes. But I think it falls outside town limits.
Yes.
So the repair would probably have to be put out to tender.
Yes.
There's only a few bridge companies in the province, and I would think that most of them would look at a wooden bridge structure that's already been reinforced and shy away from work like that.
Yeah.
So they may, if it goes public, you may find that the people who do offer to do the work would do it at quite a premium.
Sure. Yeah.
Just because it's different.
Yeah.
And when you're looking in your production bridge repair or bridge building company, it's like, hey, if we do concrete bridges, we do concrete bridges, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a little tougher thing to do. And I know that the bridge crews for the province, we have a lot of bridges,
yes,
and a limited infrastructure budget.
Yeah.
And it's the whole overworked thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people are upset. Probably rightfully so.
Yeah.
Was this piece, in my opinion,
yes,
the real question is, was this piece of infrastructure being misused? So like when the marshes were closed,
yes,
and like a ton of traffic was being put through there, and trucking traffic was going through there, and like, yes, I know there's farmers that use that, and they have to use that, and it makes their life a lot easier. We're talking about a bridge here that was meant to carry horses and buggies.
Yeah.
So is it one of these things where, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, someone should have looked at this and been like, hey, the best way for us to save this bridge is to put a steel single lane bridge next to it. And my gut tells me that if this bridge ends up being saved,
mm-hmm.
that's probably the solution they'll go with. They'll put in like what they call a Bailey bridge, which is a prefab steel section bridge, pour a footing each side, bam, then you have a bridge that's weighted for the rate of the traffic.
Yep.
And maybe they make it so the other bridge is safe for pedestrian traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe they don't even do that. They just, but it's cool it's there. I think it's the closest one to Sackville, and I can't think of another one right offhand that's really close.
No, apparently there used to be many in the area.
Yeah, there used to be many all across the province. Even the area I'm from, I mean, there used to be 1, 2, at least 3 that were quite close, easy to access.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one of them being burnt down, and people were
irritated.
No, I was going to say livid.
Yeah.
And it's tough, right? And so I don't know what the solution is about the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm sure lots of people I know lots of people are upset about it.
Yeah.
Probably rightfully so. Yeah. That's the bridge news.
There's a lot of history on our dumb little isthmus.
Yes.
And it's a lot of history that it's hard to respect in a way that we need to for infrastructure reasons because of just where we sit in like a weird federal yet on 2 provinces borders,
mm-hmm.
3 provinces borders. It makes historical salvation and historical upkeep. Very difficult.
Yeah.
Like the Dykelands have been holding
back the ocean
for
17, 18, 19. We're into the 2000s.
I'm thinking at least 300 years.
Yeah.
And, I know municipal and provincial governments on this side, since I've been here in Nova Scotia, have fought for the preservation of the wetlands and the preservation of
the dikes.
The dikes.
Yeah.
And,
it's basically turned into a game of whose responsibility is it? I know they're working on an action. We discussed this actually a week or two ago, that it was nice to see a working group come together that generally seemed, at least on paper, to have, most of the concerned parties.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll get somewhere.
Hopefully.
But time will tell.
Time will tell. A lot of history in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it stays for another 100 years. So, our great grandkids can look at these things and go, now I'm mad that this bridge is gone. You know? I want my great grandkids to be mad that bridge is gone, not me.
Oh, I'll pass the buck on down the line.
Yeah. At least, that gets probably at least another 50 to 80 years out of the bridge. And I think that's pretty good.
All right.
My news.
Is it bridge related?
Nothing about bridges.
Bridge news segment complete. Moving into
over.
General news.
General town news. Kids are back in town.
Der Studenten?
Yeah, well, some of the students. We have got student athletes back.
Okay. And when do the Massey students land? They've got to be. They're not going to be far behind.
Must not be. I don't know if they're in town yet, but we do have some student athletes. Specifically, the football team would be back by now.
Oh, you love that game.
I do love that game. That
lifestyle.
Sport, that lifestyle. That ethos.
Yeah.
Because the first preseason game was yesterday. So the first preseason game was yesterday on August 17th. On Saturday against Sanifax.
So hop in the ATC time machine.
Yep.
And just pop over there, and then because Saturday is the future from now, but the past from when this is played live.
Yes.
Pre-recorded live.
Yep.
So using the time machine now, just check in to see who won, and then check right back.
Sanifax won. Yep. Definitely Sanifax.
Wow.
Not a question. So it is our first and only preseason game. And it is in town, it looks like. So hey.
Hope you made it.
We're gonna go to the game. Hey, I actually probably am gonna go to the game. Students back, football on Saturday. What do you think about students being back in town?
It means I lose a lot of time at crosswalks, right?
That's really the only big difference, I sometimes have to wait a little bit more for pizza.
I don't need to order pizza out, so it's a non-issue.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, there's I
like having students around.
It's fine.
I like the vibrancy. I like being at the farmer's market and seeing young people.
A bunch of young, impressionable people.
Yeah, and doing fun things like, I like seeing CHMA down at
I went to I went to their table and they had our pin there, and I was like, yo.
Yeah, shout out CHMA. You guys are awesome.
There's the pin.
But yeah, I like when more students are around. I think it brings a lot more vibrancy, a lot of fun ideas to town as well. I know some people in town
be grumpy about.
Yeah, it can kind of be grumps about some of the kids, you know.
Listen, man, you can have a big business in your town. You can do a lot worse than a university.
You can do a lot worse.
You want to trade that in for an open pit coal mine?
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'll stick with the
university.
Yeah.
1,000%.
I mean, we need blue collar jobs too.
1,000%.
Maybe bring back The stoves, the foundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enterprise. That's what I was looking for.
Let's not bring back the tar pits.
No, we don't need tar pits.
Or do we?
No, probably not. But
coal pits?
Manufacturing would be cool to have back. And I guess we got a IL up there making pipe.
That's true. We're making pipes now.
Yeah, another organization that does that back at the industrial park. So we're still building some stuff here.
Yeah,
we've got quite a vibrant construction scene.
Yes,
we got road construction in 2 different companies here in town. We've got quite a thriving community of carpenters.
Yes.
So there's I don't mean to leave them out. There's still a lot of stuff getting built here. We're just
tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the local businesses. Support local. And we're back. Where did we go? I don't know. I don't know what the conversation.
We both fell into the time machine for a second after the football game check.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
Santa Effects won.
And manufacturing is still alive in some capacity.
God bless America. Hey, we're gonna listen to the Trues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Acoustic cut, I think I put on there.
Ooh, awesome. Making Sunshine.
Tomorrow's always far away. Where you are stuck in yesterday. And it's all down cause you locked up, lost inside. It tries to lounge upon your face. It begs you up before you pay those spinning. Don't stay, no escaping. We are dancing. My heart is not the type to sway. It's good for any other day. So if you say that you will stay, you'll be mine. I'll make everything okay. I push that world away, though it's raining. Don't stand, no escaping. We are dancing. I'm right on time. There was a time I was afraid. I let my strength and spirit fade. But now's the time to stand away. Take what's mine. The lessons done, my dues are paid. I'm right on time. I'm making sunshine. I'm making sunshine. I'm right on time. Sunshine, I'm making sunshine. I'm right on time. I'm making sunshine. I'm making sunshine. Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine.
Where are you putting that in the old Venn diagram?
Oh, that's a toe tapper.
All right.
Big old toe. My toe was tapping the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what else was tapping? Terrible, Thomas. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got a gold star lined up for this week?
I got a gold star, dude.
Who are you giving out that gold star to?
I'm giving it out to a lot of people.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're dividing the star?
No, it's just going
to a group.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm giving it to the workers at the Cumberland County Hospital.
Oh.
I'll just me and my wife and some of my friends this evening, we're talking about
the facilities.
The facilities and the wonderful people that work there.
Yeah.
And we've all had positive experiences there where we have not always had positive experiences elsewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, just shout out to like every single worker at the Cumberland County Hospital. It takes everyone from custodial staff to nurses to doctors to admin to security guards to make a place like that be so welcoming. So shout out to them.
All right.
What about you, man?
I'm going back in time.
Ooh,
since we have a time machine tonight.
We always have the time machine now. We just have it.
Oh, cool.
It's going to make that sound now every time too.
That is a very time machine-y sound. Excellent. I'm giving it to the Acadians who built the dikes. And it was Kanzu this week. It was the National Acadian Hall, but also it's like we are here, as we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
300-400 years on.
Yeah.
And like I've heard it suggested that it's like, well, even shoring up the dikes now, like it won't be enough. But it's like, and I'm not saying, I'm not saying that's untrue, but like, some Acadians built them with hand tools.
Yeah.
Let's round it up to 500 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're still holding up.
They're still,
that's not a criticism. That's just so impressive, and that's why they're getting the gold star.
Yeah.
It's like to come up and be like, "There's nothing we can do now."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's something we can do now. Like like bulldozers, man, and excavators, and pile drivers, and earth movers.
Nothing.
Versus shovels and hollowed out logs.
There is nothing we can do.
And reed valves is what they built, like the elaborate system of dikes with.
Another.
So
that's crazy. That's awesome.
Giving it out to the Acadians.
I think this is a strong week. That's a really strong week for gold stars. Some weeks are really bad weeks for gold stars.
Some weeks are not as weighty as others.
Yeah, this was a good week for gold
not
stars.
Meriting as much. Yeah, it was pretty serious.
Yeah, and you know what?
We'll give them next week to something frivolous.
Oh, something silly. Right on after this. You know what it is? It's live on KEXP. Bringing you the very best of their world-renowned live in-studio and remote performances. Each week you get a new live session from an emerging artist or well-established act, spanning styles, genres, cultures, you name it. They've had everyone, including Canadian duo Purity Ring, another Canadian duo Tegan and Sarah, a Canadian Uno, Jeremy Dutcher, Gary Clark Jr. Is not Canadian. Never mind.
Well, can't win them all.
You can't win them all.
Maybe they really enjoy Canada.
They might really enjoy Canada, and if they do, that's really cool. Hey, full videos of all live on KEXP performances available at youtube.com/KEXP, including a performance by Nova Scotian band Sloan. You heard of them?
Yes, I have.
I've heard of them as well.
I'd like to go see them play live someday.
I would too. I have. Have you?
No.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
I saw them last at Area 506 3 years ago. It was good.
I bet they put on a good show.
Oh, they do. Chaos, Canadian R&B artist, came out during one of their songs. I believe he was enjoying himself. He was really enjoying himself.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Live music, eh?
Yeah, it's crazy what it does to some people. You can check them out at kexp.org. Right after that, we have Black Atlantic, a primarily Black Atlantic-centric podcast website and media channel with the goal of bringing Atlantic POC voices to the world, hosted by Clinton Davis and Hillary LeBlanc. You can check them out at blackatlantic.ca, follow on Spotify, or visit their YouTube page. Then, what do we have?
Oh, it's a night shift.
It's a night shift with Luca Capone.
You never know what you're going to get with Luca Capone.
You never know what you're going to get with Luca Capone. Spin a diverse, adventurous mix of sounds, ranging from psychedelic jazz to experimental hip-hop, with a heavy focus on Canadian and independent artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I find challenging on our show?
What?
Trying to convey sports through radio.
Yeah, yes.
But you know what I think would be even more challenging?
What?
Conveying film through radio.
Yes.
But if you would like to take an hour of your time to see how that sounds,
yeah,
tune in Friday nights at 7.
Okay.
For Finding Film.
Okay.
And then Darcy gonna lay it out.
Awesome.
Film on the radio.
Love
here
to
on
hear it.
CHMA.
Love to hear
Friday evenings. Do it up if you're into motion pictures.
Yeah, into the talkies.
Yeah. When was the last time you watched a complete motion picture?
Me? Oh,
yeah.
My goodness. Do you mean like from start to finish in one sitting?
If you sat down and watched, like you can get up in the middle of pee if you have to. But
yeah.
Like, watched a complete film.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to say I watched a movie at some point this summer. So within the last few months, I've watched a film. But I've known people who like Friday night is movies.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who I went to university with that it wasn't Friday night, but he would spend an evening one evening in the week when he wasn't working.
Yeah.
Watching 2, 3, maybe 4 movies. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or I even worked with a person and they, a lovely couple. I met his wife at the time. It's like, yeah, we just, we go out to see a movie once a week.
Yeah.
We might miss an occasional week, and they living in a smaller community, so they didn't have but like, you know what? Yeah, man. You guys really enjoy it, and
totally
go for it.
Yeah, Sackville has a film society. We shout their stuff out. If you want to get into film, you should look up the Sackville Film Society as well. Hey, thanks for listening.
Thank you for CHMA for hosting and broadcasting. Check them out on CHMAFM.com and CHMAFM on the socials. Check out MidgicAirport.com.
Yeah.
That's where we hang our digital hats.
That is.
Hats made of 1s and 0s.
Our 1 and 0 hat.
That would be a great hat. Just 1 and 0 on a hat.
I can make a 1 and a 0 on a hat for us.
We're also on every other social media, effectively.
Yeah, we're on all of them. And if you miss an episode, you can always catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. Especially you weirdos who listen to it on YouTube. What are you doing?
Do people listen on YouTube?
Yeah, like some people will listen to it partially, it seems, on YouTube.
Okay.
I just don't understand it.
I wonder if it's like people have to there's people who have to have the TV on to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, this is sufficiently mindless.
Yeah.
Put on
these two guys.
Put on those fools from Sackville.
That's true. Hey, I'll take it. I'll be that fool.
I'll
gladly be that fool.
I'd happily help people fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly. If we help one person fall asleep,
we've done it. We've changed the world.
It's true.
Good night, folks.
Hey folks, it's Thomas. You have been listening to our secret jazz segment. Every time there's a little bit of time at the end of the show, I've been sneaking in jazz without Luke knowing. This week, you've been listening to James Shaw music. The first song was called KC. It was James Shaw's quintet with James Shaw on tenor saxophone, Andrew Jackson on trombone, Pat Healy on guitar, Casey Thompson on electric bass, and Brendan Melchin on drums. And currently you're listening to Diva B with James Shaw on tenor saxophone, Kyle Tully on acoustic bass, and Brendan Melchin on drums. So the songs are written by James Shaw and Kyle Tully. Thanks for listening, folks.